Have you ever wondered how to get off your PPI safely without hurting your body in the process? This is one of the most common questions I get from my clients who are struggling with acid reflux, and I get it. I work with clients who are on 1 PPI a day, 2 PPIs a day, even 3 PPIs a day, plus tums and antacids stacked on top. I've worked with a client told by doctors at the University of Michigan that there was nothing left they could do for her. And I've had clients like her get all the way down to 0 PPIs. You heard it, 0. Here's the thing though, if you're on a PPI, your acid reflux is usually pretty severe, and stopping cold turkey can leave you in pain, afraid to eat, and stuck in fear. So, how do you get off a PPI safely? This is exactly what I'm covering today. On today's episode, we're diving into the number one thing stopping you from getting off PPIs, how to taper off PPIs without pain, and stories of clients who've ended 20 plus and even 40 plus years of acid reflux with our approach. If you're ready to finally end your reflux for good, this episode is for you. Hey friend, welcome to the Better Belly Podcast. If you're currently trying endless supplements, doctor visits, and diet changes to heal your mystery symptoms, you are in the right place. We're here to solve the real root causes behind your gut, hormones, skin, sleep, and brain concerns. Literally anything and everything in your body. My name is Allison Jordan. I'm a functional medicine practitioner that has supported over 150 clients just like you to heal problems that no one has been able to fix. You don't need a perfect diet or a random supplement you found on Instagram to heal. You need a proven system that heals your whole body from the inside out. That's what I'm here to share with you, episode by episode. It's time to make health easy again. And just as a reminder, this information is not meant to diagnose, manage, or treat disease. Always consult with your own health practitioner before you make any changes to your health. All right, so today's episode is finishing up a little mini series we're doing on acid reflux. And 2 episodes ago, so 2 weeks ago or 2 episodes prior to this, on your podcast host, you're going to see that we had an acid reflux episode come out. That's what I created, was our master acid reflux episode that really combines a lot of things we've talked about in other podcast episodes into one area. It's really, really great content. If you have not listened to it, it's going to partner with this episode, but I wanted to give its own episode or a single episode just to getting off PPIs because, some clients have acid reflux and they're not on PPIs. And so it's not relevant to them. And then also if you are on PPIs, even when you listen to the episode on how to get off of it, how to reverse your acid reflux, it can still feel very daunting. And what I found is a lot of my clients who are on PPIs, it feels very daunting to imagine a life and imagine successfully getting off of PPIs in a way that's safe. Because the number one thing keeping you on a PPI is fear. And I'm not talking about just like it's the number one thing keeping you on, like it's your only issue. Like, oh, if you're afraid and that's why you get acid reflux every time you get off it. Like, no, you're genuinely getting acid reflux, and the PPI is helping keep that acid reflux down. However, when I have clients who literally I hand them a plan and say, this is what we found is causing your acid reflux. This is the plan to get your to reverse your acid reflux. When they see it, they can freeze because they are suddenly thinking about, oh, that means that at some point I'm going to go off this PPI, and that feels very scary to me. That is very normal to feel that way. It's normal to feel that, hey, this thing that is protecting me from a very painful, extreme experience of acid reflux is going to be taken away from me, and suddenly it's supposed to be okay. If that has not been your reality for the past 10, 20, 30, 40 years, as is the case with many of our clients, that is scary. It's just like, oh, I'm not sure if my body can do that. So I wanted to create this episode to basically talk you through how I talk my clients through who are on PPIs, like what I talk them through and what it's going to look like to get off their PPI. Because reality check, if you're on it, we're not just going to rip it away. That is not how you safely get off PPIs. Like, that's how you do it. Like, just because we're doing functional medicine doesn't mean that we ignore things that are actually helping you live in a lower pain lifestyle. So it's pretty simple what I'm going to talk about here, but I just wanted you to hear it in my voice and know, especially if that's like a mental barrier for you of like, is it safe to get off my PPI? What about that? Will I ever be off it? I wanted you to hear from me exactly how we handle our clients. So according to episode 285, we do the same 2 steps. So episode 285 talks about the 2 steps you need to reverse acid reflux for good. Step 1 is test for all sources of acid reflux. And I like to call them hidden sources. They're not sources that are going to come up with conventional medicine testing. They're not sources that your doctor typically is going to talk with you about. They may be sources, one in particular that your doctor might have tested you for, but testing via the hospital is really bad for this pathogen. It's H. pylori. And so I had a whole podcast episode on H. pylori that I've talked about, like what the main issue is, and I share about that all in episode 285. So I want to really point back to that episode as the main episode to refer back to, so you don't feel like you have to ping between like 70 episodes. We have a lot of episodes on acid reflux, which you'll learn in the other episodes. I share that we've been working with clients with acid reflux since 2018. I helped heal myself of acid reflux and get off PPIs. So it's in our DNA to get rid of it. But you want to get rid of it. Test for all hidden sources of acid reflux, which we cover in episode 285. You get rid of them systematically in the right order. We do have a proven process that safely removes each layer at a time that I teach inside of our program, the Better Belly Blueprint. The Better Belly Blueprint is a DIY program where you can add on group coaching and get support. And it takes you literally module by module from our lab chooser tool in module 1 that helps you choose what lab to order, what labs you need based on your unique symptoms and health history. Then module 2, where we actually help you order labs at near wholesale pricing, literally saving so much money that on average, the amount of money you save from our wholesale lab ordering literally pays the price of our program. All the way to module 5 and 6, where we teach you how to analyze those labs like a functional medicine pro and how to modify protocol templates so that your protocols are unique based off of your unique lab results, and you're not taking anything more than what you need or anything less than what you need to get results. So you want to get rid of everything you tested for systematically, and we teach you how to do that in the Better Belly Blueprint. If you want to learn more about that or join and heal, go to betterbellytherapies.com/blueprint. I would love, love, love to work with you. But we have that proven process that safely removes every layer you discover through your testing. And then we have a stomach acid protocol that tells you when to eliminate your PPI. Basically, after what protocols, what are you looking for? As I already mentioned, the biggest barrier, once you find your root causes of your acid reflux, like I want you to be in the mental mindset. This is like, but shift. Imagine a world where you knew what was causing your acid reflux. Your body doesn't just have too much acid or get acid reflux for no reason. It's not like a genetic blip you're stuck with the rest of your life. That is not what's happening. So imagine a world where you know why it's happening. You have the tools to get rid of those things. When you eliminate whatever's driving or jabbing your body to have acid reflux, you should have no acid reflux even off a PPI. So the last thing that keeps you from getting off it is fear. It's not just how hard it is mentally to get your mind around getting off a PPI, but also just anxiety that you could have around having acid reflux, and the fact that anxiety itself can actually cause acid reflux. So what we tend to do with our clients is when we have started to address the root causes of their acid reflux after multiple protocols, because I've never come across a client with just one thing driving their acid reflux, which is one of the reasons why they haven't been able to heal yet, that they typically have gone to different practitioners that only test for or make recommendations on how to heal one aspect that could be driving acid reflux, but not the big picture. So it'd be like trying to build a house with just one wall or 2 walls. It still just wouldn't work. You'd be like, where's the ceiling? Where's the left wall? Where's the eastern wall? Where's the door? Where's the front of the house? You need more than one wall to build a house. But that's what people are trying to do when they're trying to heal things like acid reflux. And so it's not worked for them. But as we work on more and more of those protocols that are relevant to them based on their unique testing results and symptom and health history, we start to look for symptoms that things are improving on the stomach acid side. So they're still on the PPI the whole time. And then they might notice that they're burping less, or they're able to sleep without a wedge pillow. And they're still on the PPI, but they're able to sleep without a wedge pillow without getting acid reflux. Or maybe they can eat later at night and not get symptoms. Or they're able to eat acidic foods or citrusy foods or spicy foods and not get acid reflux. So they're on the PPIs the whole time. We're not ripping anyone off PPIs. And then once we're starting to really see that symptom improvement, and we know that there are multiple protocols into their healing process, and often we really are pairing other symptoms. Like if they have skin issues, we're looking at, okay, are your skin issues improving? If they have constipation issues, is the constipation improving? We're looking for global improvement in their symptoms, which they are having. And then once we start to see that, we then we have them think about, like, if they're on more than one PPI a day, we only recommend reducing it one at a time. So we've had clients on 3 PPIs a day. They will reduce it then to 2. Or that client who was on 3 PPIs a day, she had gastroparesis, which is a very intense diagnosis. And she was on 3 and she was very nervous about going down to 2. So I said, how about we do this? You would do 3 one day and 2 the next day. 3 the next day after that, then 2 the day after that, then 3 the day after that. So we did this oscillating 3-2, 3-2. A number of PPI she was taking per day, and that helped her fear around it. And that was so helpful. Find ways that you can be less fearful about doing this whole process, and that's going to be really helpful, on top of course, dealing with the actual root causes. So what I find, though, is when we approach it this way, we wait for the symptoms to actually improve. Everything else, especially if they're well, I don't have acid reflux on a PPI, we're not waiting for the acid reflux. We're waiting for the extreme edges of acid reflux, I still get acid reflux if I don't sleep on a wedge or eat acidic foods. We're looking for those things to improve, and other symptoms in their body. Clients find that they're usually surprised how easy it is to go off medication. It's weird for they're living in a second universe, because they are how am I not on this PPI? I know I didn't take it today, but I have no acid reflux. And so it's this mental shift where they have to adjust to the new norm for their body of, this is safe. This is safe. This is my body at home with itself and safe without needing a mediator like medication. So if there are issues later down, it's usually the issues aren't the first few days they go off it, but it might be there's a weekend where there's an issue, or a holiday or a time of stress, or they eat a food they shouldn't, that's outside of their food sensitivity testing, and it might pile up. So it's we have clients that once it's away, they start to be able to see if it comes back. They're able to see what is causing it to come back. And then they might temporarily go back on the PPIs. My client who was on 3 PPIs, for her to get down to 0 was the hardest. So she was at 1 PPI a day for a really long time. And what we would do is that when she was starting to have success, she would go down to 0. And then very quickly she would learn, I need to go back on it. And we were able to use it as a backup when there was a lot of acid reflux, just so that she wasn't in a ton of pain or more anxious about it. Because again, a component of PPI anxiety can be, I've been told I have an ulcer. I don't want my stomach acid to be too high, or I've been told this or that. So we are not doctors, meaning we cannot prescribe how to go down, but we can educate you on how to safely go down. And if you want to bring that to your doctor, you can also get your doctor to work together with you and say, hey, my acid reflux all my symptoms have been better. I'm not getting acid reflux when I'm not sleeping on a wedge, or I'm not getting acid reflux if I eat late at night. I'm not getting acid reflux if I eat spicy foods. Can we look at reducing my PPI? And you can then work with your doctor to specifically get their input on what they recommend even. So by no means are we trying to replace doctors entirely, but just help you give you tools that they don't have access to test for the root causes of acid reflux. So basically, If you're on more than one PPI, you continue to reduce your PPIs as you deal with more layers of your root cause and you see your symptoms being better and better. So if you go from 3 to 2, you would stay at 2 until you see even more symptoms go away and your body is clearly like not getting acid reflux even with 2. And then you can move down to 1. Yeah. And then for one thing I discussed on episode 285 is that one of the biggest causes of acid reflux is actually low stomach acid. And being on a PPI actually predisposes you to have too low of stomach acid, even lower than normal. So sometimes we've had clients who need to actually artificially increase their stomach acid and take zinc before they get fully off their last PPI. And so what we'll typically do is have them take betaine HCl with meals and zinc, because you need a high acidity environment to absorb zinc, and you need good zinc to create stomach acid, appropriate levels of stomach acid. So we'll do that just so they only have stomach acid in their body, or we're only bumping it up when they eat a meal to absorb their zinc. And then after they've been doing that for a while, we get off the PPI. I've done that twice. Usually it's not necessary, but that is kind of a backup, especially if the client, in those 2 cases, the client was very, very nervous about getting off the PPI. So we just like, hey, let's just artificially boost it with this supplement, take some zinc, prep your body. And that helps them feel safe. Like, oh, I didn't get acid reflux when I took that betaine HCl. So give them more confidence that, oh, I can go off a PPI and it probably doesn't mean I'm inherently going to get acid reflux. It's all about dealing with all the root causes. And so we would just have a lot of conversations of like, hey, let's go back to your testing. What did we find? How are your other symptoms? And really, so the client started to be convinced in their own way of not just us convincing them, like brainwashing them, but like, oh, I see in the data how all the proof and all the reasons why my stomach acid or acid reflux really should be better, and that I can be safe to get off a PPI. We're not just praying and hoping and pushing and doing it before people are ready. We're really trying to look at all the proof, both from us as like a practitioner perspective and them as a client perspective, proof that it's a good time to get off it. So it can be very safe to get off PPIs. No one's pressuring anyone. And that's how we do it. That is how we do it. I hope that gives you clarity on ways that either you can do it with another practitioner, or if you work with us, what it would be like. I would love, love, love to work with you. And if you want any testimonials of clients who have had acid reflux, we actually have one. Andrea, she had 20 plus years of acid reflux that she got rid of in 3 months. And Don, he had 40 plus years of acid reflux, and he got rid of that I don't have it in the title here, but he talks about how fast it goes away. And he was on a PPI. I don't remember if Andrea was, but he was on a PPI when he came to us. So, and then we have Jamie, who had acid reflux, and she got rid of it in 1 month. I also have an image. We actually have a screenshot we took from our Facebook group of a client who's never came on the podcast, but they posted a win. I managed to stop taking my PPI Protoxix or something after 20 years of being on it. I'm feeling very positive. So that was 20 years for Andrea, 20 years for this anonymous client, 40 years for Dawn. And then Jamie, I don't remember how long she'd been having acid reflux, but she probably shares it in the podcast episode. So those are episodes 200, 242, and 249 for the testimonials. And then go listen to episode 285 to learn a lot more on just acid reflux on the whole, what types of things to test for that are root causes to acid reflux, and how you can get rid of it in 2 steps. So that is it. I hope you guys found a lot of encouragement from this episode. If you know someone else who's dealing with PPIs and fear of getting off them, share it with them. And if you're new to the Better Belly podcast, highly recommend subscribe. Come hang out with us. If you want to get an email from me every week, letting you know what the new episode is and giving you easy links to go listen to it, you can go to betterbellytherapies.com/subscribe and subscribe to our weekly email newsletter. So that is it. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you guys next week.